Are your ground strokes getting attacked because you're leaving them short? Well, you're going to love this video because I'm going to show you how to keep the ball deep so you can keep your opponents at bay. Let's get started. Hey there, Ramon Osa with you here, and I hear you. You want to hit deeper, okay? Unless you're hitting a drop shot or a short angle, in general, it's pretty good to keep the ball deep. But how do we do that? Well, I'm going to show you. There's three factors that we have to play with on any given shot. And those factors are power, spin, and direction. Okay, in this case, we're talking about the height over the net. Those are the three factors that we have to play with. And in any shot, we're going to have a certain ratio of power to spin to direction, and that's going to lead us to the depth of our shot. Okay, those are the three factors. So if your ball is landing short, there's a really good chance that one of these factors are out of balance with the other two. So for example, if you're hitting the ball with a ton of height over the net and a ton of topspin, but you don't have too much power behind the shot, you're going to get a lot of high spinny shots that land inside the service line. Those are the ones that are getting killed by your opponent. If you're hitting the ball really low over the net, but you have a lot of power and a lot of spin, they're probably still going to land short. So what we want to do is come up with a ratio of these three factors in order to get you to hit deeper. But before we talk about that, let's talk about each kind of component individually and give you a couple of ways to improve that area if you're having trouble with it. So if we tackle power, I've already made a ton of videos that I'll link down to in the description that handle the power topic. But let me give you two things really quick. One thing is the contact point. Okay, and if you've watched any of my videos before, you've probably heard that the 45-degree angle is the optimum place to make contact, okay? Preferably right here in the sweet spot, okay, unless you're going for the old Shankopotamus shot, which we won't talk about in this video. Okay, you want to hit the sweet spot and you want to be on the 45-degree angle at contact. That's probably the most important thing you can do to create more power instantly. The second thing is, if you're like me, you tend to grab and throttle the racket, especially when there's pressure, okay? We tend to tighten up on our grip, okay? And so what we want to do is consciously relax our grip. And that's going to allow gravity, it's going to allow the weight of the racket and the strings to do their work, really get rid of the resistance to the swing. Now the next factor we have to talk about is height over the net, okay? Because we know, all things else being equal, the higher the ball goes, the further it will travel up to a certain point. So there's really two ways to control the height of your shot, and really one primary way that I want to focus on for this demonstration, and that's the angle of your racket face, okay? So if your racket face is a little bit more open at contact, obviously the strings are pointing up, the ball's going to go up. Okay, so by just turning the doorknob a little bit to the right, if the ball's on your right-hand side, or a little bit to the left, if it's on your left-hand side, that's going to open the racket face and it's going to allow the ball to travel a little bit higher. The second way to create more height on your shot is to create more of a low to high swing, okay, and that's actually going to play into our spin as well. If we have a really steep angle of our racket face as it's approaching contact, as it's going straight up the back of the ball, that's going to produce a little bit of height too. But it's also going to produce more topspin, which is ultimately going to pull the ball back down in. So if we want to create more height on our shot, let's talk about really opening the racket face a little bit. And the third factor, which we talked about, was spin. So if we're hitting with a lot of top spin, we're going really low to high as we approach contact. And if we're hitting with a lot of backspin, we want to go kind of high to low, or even maybe high to level to create that backspin. And that's going to cause the ball, all things else being equal, to go a little bit lower. So now that we know these three factors, let's have some fun and experiment with them out here on the court a little bit. Now if we want the ball to land, say, in no man's land, kind of halfway between the service line and the baseline, one way to do it, and a very consistent way to do this, is to hit a ball with moderate power, good net clearance, and a good amount of topspin. One of my teachers, Robert Lansdorp, who coached Pete Sampras and Maria Sharapova, called this the academy ball. And the reason is, if you can hit this repeatedly, you'll have a pretty good foundation to build on. So what I'm going to do is just grab a basket of balls, drop a few out in front of me, and see if I can hit the ball with a good amount of power, good height over the net, and a good amount of topspin. Let's see how we do. Not too bad. Now from here, you can continue doing drop feeds, or you can turn on the ball machine, hit the wall, or even get a practice partner out to hit some with you. And from here, as you start to feel this shot, you can experiment adding a little bit of each factor, taking away some of each factor until you get the shape that you're really looking for. Incidentally, I had a great time watching Roger Federer at the Australian Open win it again, and I made a free training that really talks about his secrets to the forehand that you can have for free if you just click the button up in the cards or down in the description and head over and grab it. In the meantime, thanks so much for watching this video. If you found it helpful, do me a favor and just click the like button and let me know in the comments what topics you'd like me to cover in the future so I can help you out. Also, don't forget to subscribe so you don't miss next week's lesson. All right, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you soon.